Hello friends. The Government of India has recently launched Asset Monetisation Pipeline as announced in the last Union Budget by the Honorable Finance Minister. It aims to monetize 6 trillion of brownfield infrastructure assets over a period of 4 years. The objective is to unlock the value in brownfield projects by engaging the private sector. It involves transferring the revenue rights to the private sector but not the ownership in the projects and using the funds generated for infrastructure creation across the country. Since the government is not envisaging any outright sale of land or assets, ownership of the assets will remain with the government as assets will be given to the private sector by way of leases. The assets will still be owned by the government and will be returned to the government after a stipulated period of time. But opposition parties have already come out against the government's plan, terming it as nothing but privatization of national assets. All India Bank Officers Confederation, the apex body of bank officers associations, has also criticized the move and issued a press release denouncing the anti-people initiative by the centre. Aiboc is of the considered view that this scheme is nothing but a move to initiate wholesale privatization across all the crucial infrastructure sectors. The bank employees and officers are already up in arms against the privatization policy of the government, which is currently proceeding with the disinvestment process in at least 2 public sector banks. Aiboc points out that assets worth rupees 88,000 crores have been targeted for such monetization or privatization in the current financial year itself. The shortlisted assets include national highways, trains, railway stations, power generation and transmission, oil and gas pipelines, telecom infrastructure, mines and minerals, and others. The association calls this as wholesale privatization of infrastructure assets under the garb of asset monetization. It's only a continuation of the disinvestment and strategic sale of entire PSUs across several sectors, including general insurance companies and banks in the public sector, initiated through the Union Budget 2021. Such privatization will only benefit a handful of large corporates while destroying the foundations of our national economy. Though the government has been citing growing fiscal stress and public debt as the justification for such privatization, the reality is that the government's revenue targets have gone haywire due to reckless corporate tax cuts amidst the economic slowdown. And this has not only helped in enhancing corporate profits and creating a stock market bubble, but also has failed to bring about any real economic recovery. The sale of public assets in a situation of demand deficiency in the economy will also lead to undervaluation of assets and corruption, thus institutionalizing crony capitalism, says Aiboc. Aiboc calls it as selling the family silver and urges the government to desist from moving along this disastrous path against national interest. The entire workforce in the banking industry opposes the sinister move of the ruling government and is ready to fight for protection of national assets. The Aiboc has decided to launch a countrywide movement mobilizing public opinion and warns that the government will have to face outright people's resistance if such policies are not reversed and rescinded by the government immediately.